So the cadence for today is going to be, we'll talk a little bit about meditation in general. Then we'll do a very short breathing meditation, about 5 minutes. No need to panic about sitting there for a long time. And then we're going to talk about our topic for today. And today's topic is all about giving thanks, gratitude. Oh, you like my festive shirt? Thank you. So this is my favorite topic. And I'm going to be honest. When I first started studying meditation, and I've been training in meditation for a long time, probably over 15 years by now, I wasn't that interested in this topic. I don't know why, but over the years, I've found that this particular meditation, this particular concept on gratitude, giving thanks, it has definitely impacted me the most, and I think it is a really wonderful, mental, mindset shift that you can start doing even when you're not meditating. Because let's be honest, there's 24 hours in the day, and we're only meditating for maybe 5 minutes. So it's good to have some techniques that you can use even when you're not meditating. And this is a really good one for that, right? Jody, glad to be back on the anniversary of my last time seeing my beautiful husband. He went to Peace Thanksgiving Day. That's a beautiful memory. A beautiful memory. Thank you for sharing. So let's get started. Oh, by the way, if you're new, you can ask me questions at any time. That's what this whole live stream's all about. All right. So, there's a lot of good pre-made meditation videos out there, but if you're like, hey, I don't know if I'm doing this right, the pre-made video is not talking back to you, but I can. So if at any time you are like, well, that doesn't make any sense, you just let me know. And I will try to, answer your question or explain it in a different way. Point is, you can interrupt me at any time. I don't care. You don't have to wait for me to be like not talking or something like that. I rarely not talk. Okay. So we're going to start by just talking about meditation in general for those that are new. And each week we do get people whose first time it is, so it's good to start at the beginning. So when we think about meditation, pretty much everyone kind of goes to stress relief, relaxation, zoning out, kind of unwinding, right? That's really the main entry point into meditation, wanting to relax. But the way in which meditation relaxes you is not something that's always taught when we're, kind of looking into like mindfulness techniques and stuff like that. So meditation is very similar to training your body. With meditation, we're training our mind, but we can think about training our body to kind of see and draw a comparison about how we might do this, right? So let's say, New Year's resolutions are coming up. What are we going to do this year? Okay, so let's say my New Year's resolution is to run a 5K race. I don't run a lot. And by a lot, I mean at all. So this might be difficult for me, right? If I went out there, I don't know, I might make it around the block, and then I'd be laid up for a couple of days, right? But if I practiced a little bit each day, right, slowly, a little bit more each day, I could eventually run this race, right? Why? Because my body and my mind, everything about me, is becoming more familiar with the mechanics that are required in order to run this race, right? So I'm training my body in order to do this. So training your mind is the exact same way. And with meditation, we are, looking at emotions and feelings, mental states, and, things like anxiety and stuff like that. Gratitude, which we're going to talk about today. But the way in which we go about training our mind is the same way that we go about training our body, right? So in terms of relaxation, with meditation. Meditation is not creating peace. It's not creating relaxation. It is training your mind to kind of access its relaxed state. All right. Why? So that it starts to come easier to you. That's the benefit of being familiar with something. Think about anything you're familiar with. Riding a bike, walking, tying your shoe, right? Comes very naturally to you. Wasn't always that way. You had to learn it at some point, but now you're so familiar with it that you can do those things like that, right? Now, it does go the other way too, right? So if you think about something like anger, very easy to get angry, right? Don't really have to try. Somebody says something to us, boom, we're angry. Patience, on the other hand, we got to try, right? So this isn't because we're like an angry person or we're incapable of being patient. It's merely that we've had a lot of training in getting annoyed, have we not? All right. And so with meditation, we're trying to begin to choose, hey, what do I want my mind to be familiar with? Do I want my mind to be really familiar with being calm and relaxed so it comes naturally to me? Do I want my mind to be really familiar with being patient? That way it comes naturally to me, even in situations that would normally annoy me. Do I want my mind to be more, come really familiar with gratitude so I can kind of pay all that kindness back to people, right? So meditation is about choice, choosing what you want your mind to become familiar with. And this technique that we're going to learn is the way of doing that. So an analogy I like to always kind of throw out there, I think it was very helpful for me when I started learning, and I think you might find it helpful too, is if you imagine you're staring at a reflection in a lake. You went on a nice little nature walk, right? I know at least it's winter by me. Maybe if we got any our Australian friends, they're enjoying the warm weather. But you are looking at this reflection in the lake, right? And the reflection is very clear. There's no wind, there's no rain, beautiful day. And so there's no ripples on the water, very still water. And as a result of that still water, you can see the reflection very clearly. Now, if it starts to rain a little bit, that reflection is not as clear. And if it really starts to kind of downpour and the winds are gusting, you might not be able to see that reflection in the lake at all. Now, the reflection's there, right? The reflection is always there, but it's obscured by the raindrops. So our mind is the exact same way. Normally, our mind is very still, like this lake, calm, relaxed, peaceful, thinking objectively about our problems, thinking reasonably about situations that we're in. But all the stress, the anxiety, kind of bombardment of thoughts and worries that are going through our mind all day long, these are like raindrops. And just like the raindrops obscure the reflection of the lake, this stress, mental stress, is obscuring our natural peacefulness, right? It's in there, just like the reflection. It's still in there. We just got to go get it, right? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start to practice going and finding that relaxed self. And the more we do this, the more our mind's like, oh yeah, I know about that. I know about going and being relaxed. It's going to start to come more naturally. Right now, our mind's like, I don't know what you're doing over there. I just think about a million things and worry about stuff. So we have to kind of train it to do the other, do the opposite, right? Okay. So we're going to do a short breathing meditation now. More formally, it's called single-pointed concentration. All it means, we're focusing on one thing. Okay, so the technique of meditation is it's kind of like 3 steps. We're going to choose to focus on something, in this case, our breath, right? And then we're going to make a promise. Whenever I notice that my mind's drifting a little bit, thinking about something coming up later, what we have to cook for Thanksgiving, right? All that stuff. Or it's thinking about something that happened earlier at work or whatnot. We're going to be like, not right now to those thoughts. We'll get some later. We're going to just bring our attention back to breathing, right? So we're choosing to focus on our breath, noticing when our attention drifts, and bringing our attention back. That's our practice in meditation. We're focusing on one thing. And the benefit of doing this is that when you're focusing on one thing, there's no room for other things in your mind. So all of the worries, the anxieties, the more you're able to stay focused on your breath, those are going to start to fade into the background a little bit, right? Even just slightly. Cool? We're going to basically clear away some of the raindrops that are obscuring the stillness, right, of the lake, obscuring the stillness of ourselves. Right? Okay, so we're going to do a breathing meditation now. It's going to be about 5 minutes. Common misconception about meditation: you do not need to meditate for 4 hours or whatever. All you need is just 5 minutes is fine. If that's too much for you, cool. Maybe do a minute, maybe do 30 seconds. Doesn't matter. As long as you're doing it consistently, that's how you're going to learn, right? How do you become familiar with something? Not doing it once for 3 hours, right? You do it a little bit each day. So we want to use that same methodology for training our mind, right? Okay, cool. So sit comfortably. That's step one. If you are uncomfortable, you're going to be thinking about that. So make sure you're nice and relaxed. Chair's fine. You're sitting on the floor. That's cool. Maybe you're laying down. You had a long day. That's fine too. Doesn't matter to me. There's really no perfect kind of setup, right? As long as you're relatively comfortable. And you can go ahead and close your eyes. And I'm going to guide us through about a 5-minute breathing meditation. Okay. Let's start by just checking in. Ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? In this exact moment. Happy, sad, relaxed, stressed, tired, energetic. Doesn't matter. All that matters is you start to notice what your mind is up to. This is called mindfulness. Mindfulness is an active awareness of your thoughts, moment to moment, for the purpose of being able to respond to them skillfully. So just take a moment, check in. Having done that, you can now make a choice. You can choose to focus exclusively, single-pointedly, on your breath, breathing in and out, gently, naturally. You do not need to take big, deep breaths. You do not need to forcefully exhale the air. Just breathe as you normally would, in and out. And see if you can follow each moment of your breath. Keeping your attention exclusively on the air as it enters your nose. And then following that air as it exits. Intentionally, single-pointedly focused on breathing in and out. As you begin to relax a little bit into your chair or cushion, at some point you may notice your attention drifts. Maybe you're thinking about something that happened earlier in the day. Maybe you're thinking about something that's coming up later. Whenever you notice that your attention is no longer exclusively on your breath, we can just say not right now to those other thoughts and purposefully guide your focus back to breathing. In and out. Gently, naturally. Following each moment of your breath and giving yourself permission to enjoy sitting here in this moment. You have nothing else to do, nowhere else to be, just you and your breath, in and out. Keep bringing your attention back to your breath whenever you notice that it has drifted. This process of choosing to focus single-pointedly on your breath, noticing when your attention drifts, and being able to bring your attention back, that is meditation. You are meditating right now. You are training your mind to focus on what you want to focus on. And right now, we're focusing on relaxing and breathing in and out. What a wonderfully good use of your time. So just for the next couple seconds, continue to breathe gently, naturally, and just enjoy sitting here in this moment. Okay, when you're ready, you can open your eyes. How'd that go? Were you awake? If you are feeling sleepy, that's very normal, by the way. That's a very common thing that people experience when they start meditating. Because your mind normally is just doing a million things. And so when you finally are giving it an opportunity to do one thing and relax, sometimes you can get a little woozy, a little sleepy. So if you found that to be difficult, very common, right? And for good reason, right? You don't do this that much, right? So similar to me trying to run a race. I don't do it that much. So when I go and do it, it might be difficult. So this is the same as anything you've ever learned. It's just going to take a little time. But over time, your mind, everything about you is going to start to become a little bit more familiar with this process of focusing on one thing, right? We're very familiar with multitasking, right? We do that all day long. We're not very familiar with focusing on one thing and then noticing when we're not and bring your attention back. So just take some practice. Wish it was longer. Thoughts strong today. Oh, Lori, that's great. Yeah, so like if you're doing this on your own and you're feeling good, keep going. Yeah, that's great. Great thing to notice. Rosa, nasal congestion. Oh, okay, cool. This is a good one. So I have tinnitus in my ear. And it is very annoying and I don't like it. But it is important to understand and start to kind of get behind the idea that there is no good or bad meditation. right? So if maybe you have some nasal congestion, and it's frustrating for you to breathe, you sitting there and practicing, even though it might be difficult, is still super beneficial to you, right? Just like if you were training for a race, not every day you go out there to train, you're going to feel fantastic, right? But it's still working towards your goal. And sometimes when we're new to meditating, we kind of feel that we need these perfect conditions in order to do it, right? I need perfect quiet. I need my ear not to be ringing, right? I need to be in my favorite chair or whatever, right? But our life is not really like that. There's not perfect quiet. My ear's ringing, and so it's important that even when we're having some of these annoyances, we can still continue to practice, right? Sometimes it's really helpful, right? If we never had any problems ever, then we wouldn't have any reason to practice being patient or anything like that, right? That's good. You can feel free to go blow your nose. That might help too. Cynthia, very relaxing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Lily, I'm an excellent multitasker, which is why your classes are so helpful. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting, the concept of multitasking, because we do it even when we think we're not doing it. Sometimes we purposefully are multitasking, right? At work or something like that. But even when we're not, let's say we're talking on the phone with our friend, right? Talking on the phone with our friend, then we're like, I don't know, writing something down or, looking at the oven. I don't know what we're doing. But it's not just talking to your friend, right? And so our mind is very familiar with multitasking. We very rarely are focused on one thing, which is why this can be challenging when we start, right? Cool. Okay, so we're going to move on to our topic for today, and this is my favorite class to teach. I love it, and I think it is one of, if not the most beneficial kind of meditation topic, at least that I have, at least from my own experience. And so what we're talking about today is this concept of giving thanks or gratitude, which is very timely for Thanksgiving, which is tomorrow, right? This came up quick. So this class is all about gratitude. So let's start by thinking about what that even means, right? What does gratitude mean? So I like to think about this idea of gratitude or giving thanks as when you recognize the importance of something or someone, right? So if you recognize you're like, man, that thing's really beneficial to my life, right? We start to almost develop this kind of natural gratitude towards it, right? Lori, glad you have past meditations on YouTube to go back to instead of waiting until Wednesday. Yeah, so all my old YouTube videos are up there. We've been doing this for a number of years now, so there's a lot to comb through. So yeah, feel free to go check all those out. When we recognize the importance of something, right, we start to develop some gratitude for it, right? We're grateful for things that are important to us. Sometimes these things are things, right? Like our job, yeah, pretty important. Our house, nice place of this escape from bad weather and whatnot. Maybe some more abstract things like our health. We can be thankful for that. The interesting thing about all these things is that they all come from people, right? Your job exists because a lot of people are involved. Your house exists because people built it, right? And figured out how to do plumbing and all this stuff. And even your health, right? The doctors, scientists who are working very diligently to figure out ways to make us healthier and prolong our life, right? They all contribute to that. All things, right, can be traced back to people. And so if we want to focus on expanding gratitude, we can go right to the source, and the source is people. Now, sometimes we do that, right? So you think you're sitting around the old Thanksgiving table, and it's your turn. I don't know. Do you guys do this, or it's like, oh, what are you thankful for? I don't know. We always did that when I was growing up. And you might say, my friends, right? I'm really thankful for my friends. They're great friends. They're always there for me. I love them, right? They're great, right? Or parents, maybe, right? Or our significant other, right? And that's wonderful, but we can expand that a little bit, right? Usually people aren't saying, oh, the grocery store clerk. They don't get mentioned that much at Thanksgiving, right? But the grocery store clerk contributes massively to our life, right? And so today's meditation on this topic, we're going to kind of try to expand maybe the net that we think that, like, the net of importance, essentially, the people that we think are really important to our lives, right? And it starts to reveal some really interesting things. Mainly, it starts to reveal that we have this kind of like built-in importance system in our lives, right? So let's say you wake up, walk down your driveway, go to your mailbox, and you do like a double take because your car is not there. Parked it in the driveway last night, and it's not there. And after some, deductive reasoning, you realize that your car has been stolen. How would you feel? Pretty pissed, pretty upset, right? And our mind would start to panic, start to ruminate about the ramifications of our car being stolen, right? How am I going to get to work? I can't afford another car. What am I going to do? All that stuff. Pretty acute response. Let's rewind. We walk out in the morning, go to our mailbox, and we get a call, and it's our best friend in the whole world. And they're like, you are not going to believe this. My car has been stolen. And we're like, what's our response? You got to be kidding me. Really? That's unbelievable. How did this happen? And there's some natural compassion there. Like, hey, do you need a ride? Anything you need, you let me know. Right? But it's a different kind of response than when it was our car, right? There's still a lot of compassion in there, still a lot of worry, but it's a little less, right? A little less acute. Now, if we say rewind again, that's my rewind sound, and we I don't know, going to work or whatever, and then one of our coworkers walks by and goes, "Hey, Carol from accounting?" And we're like, yeah, I know Carol from accounting. Carol from accounting's car got stolen today. And you'd be like, oh my Lord, that's terrible. I feel so bad for Carol. I hope that they find it or something like that. It's a different response than when it's our best friend, right? Now, let's rewind one last time. You walk outside, go to your mailbox, and then you overhear two people passing by. You've never seen them before, and they say, yeah, and then then his car got stolen. And what might we think about these two strangers? We might not think anything. We might, sometimes we don't even hear it. But if we did, we might say something like, glad that didn't happen to me. Oh, you ever say that? I say that all the time. Glad that didn't happen to me, which is an interesting kind of phrase to use, because we're kind of implying like, hey, I'm glad that they're suffering and not me, right? It's almost like this kind of weird innate importance shift, depending on how perceivably close somebody is to us, right? Relationship-wise. Right? So our goal with meditating on gratitude and this kind of class on giving thanks is to try to bring that kind of tier 3 stranger group closer to us, right? Our strangers, our acquaintances, bring them a little closer into our friends and family section, right? We have room. We have room to bring them in, so we're going to bring them in. Right? So why would you want to do this, right? Why would you want to study this? Why would you want to practice this? What's the benefit? So when you recognize the importance of someone, you naturally have compassion for them, right? So think about your best friend, right? Your best friend's going through a problem. You're there for them, right? Now it comes naturally. You don't have to try, right? Remember we were talking about before the familiarity, right? You're very familiar with their importance to you in your life, and so compassion, kindness, right? It starts to flow naturally. That's what we're after. We don't want to have to try too hard to be kind, right? So if we can start to recognize the importance of some of these other participants in our life, we will start to develop some natural compassion for them too, right? That sounds pretty good, right? So what we're going to do now is a fun activity, at least I think it is. It's a meditation on this. And basically, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to think about our day from the moment that we woke up until right now. We're going to think of it kind of like as a movie, right? What happens at the end of a movie? The old credits roll. Nobody watches those, but they roll, right? You ever watch the credits? I mean, it's not that exciting. But, sometimes we watch the credits because we're like, oh, man, that actor, they were unbelievable in this. Who were they? And then we look, right? Like, oh, I'm going to go check out their other movies. They were integral to making this movie enjoyable for me, right? And the list starts to kind of go up a little bit, and then we get to like the audio technician, Jim the boom mic technician. Well, we don't care about that, right? But Jim the boom mic technician plays a massive role in your enjoyment of this movie, right? There are so many people on the credits of a movie, right? And all of them are needed. All of them are essential for making it something that you get to enjoy, right? And so we're going to look at our life like it was these credits from a movie. And we're going to let the credits roll a little longer than we normally do. And we're going to see if anyone's sticking out to us, right, down in the old audio technician section. Sound good? Any questions on this or anything that we've talked about thus far? I'll take 2 sips of my seltzer while I wait. 1, 2. So this is we're gonna start this meditation similarly to what we just did. We're going to take a moment to just kind of relax by doing some breathing meditation. Very good to just always start by relaxing a little bit. When your mind's agitated, it's hard to think clearly about things. So we're going to take some time and just relax a little bit. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to guide us. You just got to sit there and kind of hang out and enjoy it. But I'm going to guide us through this kind of life movie credits meditation. Okay? All right. So sit comfortably. Step 1 again. If you are not pleased with your previous seating arrangement, please do change it. And go ahead and close your eyes. And we're going to do a short breathing meditation followed by a meditation on gratitude and giving thanks. Okay? All right. Let's start once again just by checking in. How are you feeling now? Different? The same? Doesn't matter. We're just noticing. We're practicing noticing what our mind is up to. An important step in being able to deal with our problems skillfully. And now you can turn your attention to your breath once again, breathing in and out, gently, naturally. Stay focused on each moment of your breath. This moment, this moment, this moment. Breathing in, out. Enjoying sitting here. And just check in with yourself periodically and see, is your attention still exclusively on your breath? If not, gently guide it back. That's it. Smooth, gentle breathing. As you begin to relax a little bit into your chair or cushion, keeping your attention single-pointedly focused on the air entering and exiting your nose. When you start to really plug into your breath, single-pointedly focused on your breath, you may start to notice some things about breathing that you hadn't noticed before. Maybe you're noticing how the air feels cool temperature-wise when you breathe in. And that air feels warm when you breathe out. Or maybe you're noticing your body moving with each breath. Your shoulders rising, falling. Your chest expanding, contracting. Every aspect of you breathing in and out, together as one. One of the benefits of meditation, of training in single-pointed concentration, is you begin to notice some subtle joys about the activity you're engaging in. Right now, you are enjoying breathing. How wonderful. You can enjoy something as simple and accessible as your own breath. So, having engaged in breathing meditation for a little while, we can now use this slightly more relaxed mind that we have developed from breathing meditation. We can use it purposefully. We can use it to think about something with a new level of clarity. And so today we're going to do a contemplation on gratitude and the importance of other people in our lives. So you can just follow along with what I'm saying. This morning, you presumably woke up in a home or an apartment? Who built that home or apartment? Other people. Who made the tools that were used to construct that home or apartment? Other people still. What about the materials needed to make the tools? Other people. Countless individuals that you've likely never met, intimately involved in creating this home, this place of refuge for you. Maybe you woke up in a comfy bed. Who made that bed? Who made the frame? Who made the mattress? Who made the sheets, the pillows? Designed the springs? Countless people involved in making this bed so that you can wake up feeling rested, energetic, and ready to enjoy your day. How kind of them to do that. Maybe after you woke up, you took a shower. Who ran all the plumbing to get clean, fresh water to you? Other people. Somebody invented a way for you to select the exact temperature you like when you shower. Just the flick of a wrist. The people involved in making that spent hours doing so. Countless hours. Years. Multiple years. Sacrificing time with their family, sleep, all to make this invention that you use every day to enjoy your shower. Maybe then you had some breakfast, perhaps a piece of fruit. Think about all the people involved in putting that piece of fruit in your hand. Someone planted the seeds, tirelessly tended to the crops. Somebody harvested, picked the best pieces. Somebody else packaged them. And then it was put on a truck, maybe. A truck driven by someone who had to drive many miles away from their family, their friends, in order to deliver this piece of fruit to a grocery store located near you. A grocery store painstakingly organized by other people so that you can go into the grocery store, get your piece of fruit, and go about your day. Countless people involved in putting this piece of fruit in your hand, this nourishment. Now you might be thinking, yeah, but I paid for the fruit with my money. I pay for my house with my money. I pay for my apartment with my money. I pay for the water bill with my money. Where did you get that money? From your job? Your job selected you over countless other people who would love to have that job. And that job only exists because a lot of people contribute to making it thrive. And you might think further, yeah, but I was the best candidate. That's why I got the job. Who taught you the skills that made you the best candidate? Who taught you how to read, how to write, how to dress yourself, how to present yourself positively in an interview? Other people. We were not born with any of these skills. They were taught to us by our parents, teachers, friends, television, books. Everything we have comes from other people. Sometimes we like to think that we are purely independent. But the reality is that each one of us is interdependent. We need each other. If we were to give back everything that we have that somebody else played a role in us having, well, we wouldn't have anything at all. Even our body. Our parents were involved in making this body. So just for the next minute, think about your day from the moment you woke up until now. Just replay it in your mind like a movie. And think about, is there anyone involved in the things that you did from then until now that you hadn't really thought about before? Let your mind start to recognize the importance of all people in your life. Let your mind start to feel a sense of gratitude to even strangers that you've never met. Okay, when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So that was a little longer than our previous one. This is what I would actually consider to be a full meditation. Meditation is kind of like two parts. We relax our mind with breathing meditation, and we could stop there if we want. That's very beneficial in and of itself. But we can also go a step further and then use this kind of more relaxed mind state to think about something. And that's called contemplation. And in this case, we were thinking about our day. You're thinking about from the moment we woke up to now, and we're trying to pick out maybe some of the people in the credits that are a little lower than the main actors, right? Where the main actor, our friends are in best supporting actor and whatnot. But Gail, you're asleep. Amazing, you can type in your sleep. So I think this is a really beautiful meditation. And I think it can be really transformative because it starts to illuminate how much we need other people, right? And then the benefit of that is we start to see that these people, they're important. And then when we know they're important, we have more compassion for them. So maybe we, somebody says something to us, cuts us off or something as we're driving, and we're like, hey, this person has definitely contributed in some way to my life. They're having a bad day. I've had bad days. I hope they have a better day, right? Oh, Lori, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Thanks. So another really great benefit of this meditation is that it is very applicable outside of meditation. So the next time you go to, I don't know, coffee shop or something like that, you can think about, all the people, think of all the people involved in putting this coffee in my hand, right? Sometimes we already are like, oh, it's really nice that the barista, has woken up incredibly early before anyone else wakes up. That way we can go there and get coffee that we need to be energized to go to work, right? Sometimes we think about that. But what about the people who made the cup that we're drinking the coffee in? A lot of thought went into those cups so they don't spill all over the place as we're driving with it, right? There are countless, infinite people involved in every aspect of your day, right? Every aspect. There is not one aspect of your day that doesn't fall into this category. So I encourage you to maybe play with this a little bit, right? You can make a little game out of it, right? You trace back all the people involved in all these things. You're watching YouTube right now. How many people were involved in making that possible? I have no idea. But amazing. We can learn things in the comfort of our own home, right? So this is a really great way of starting to widen our net of gratitude. And it doesn't take much to start doing it, right? It's just a little thought experiment. It's kind of fun. At least I think so, right? Cool. Hopefully you found that to be helpful or enjoyable. Okay, so that's it for today. If you enjoyed yourself, I encourage you to come back every Wednesday, same time. I do a live meditation and we talk about a different topic. I don't know what next week's going to be about, but it'll have something to do with meditation. I can guarantee that. So you come on back. And I noticed a couple of people subscribe to the YouTube channel during the during this live stream. I really appreciate that. It honestly means an incredible amount to me. For those of you that have subscribed, it's really impactful to me, for the channel, to help this keep growing. So thank you for doing that. And if you haven't, maybe consider it. It's very beneficial to me, and you get notified when I'm going live. So when you're, on Wednesday, you're a little scatterbrained, right? You'd be like, oh, it's meditation time. And then you go relax with me for an hour. Okay. And then if you are really interested in meditation, you think this is something that you'd like to continue pursuing, maybe a little deeper, I do one-on-one classes. That's my main the main aspect of my meditation business. And if you want to, I'm going to put my email in the chat. You can just email me and we'll find a time that is, appropriate or convenient for you. And we can focus on anything. That's the beauty of one-on-one classes, is whatever you are here for, we can focus on. So for example, I got into meditation for anxiety. Maybe you're here for that too. So that's something that we can look at, right? Okay. So I'm going to put my email in the chat right now. It is keith@meditationbreaks.com. I'm concentrating. Looks good. Send. Email me if you'd like to set up a one-on-one, or if you just have any questions about stuff we talked about today, or stuff that comes up while you're trying your own meditations at home, right? And Rosa, I had a deep, thankful meditation. I'm glad. Yeah, this is one of my favorites. And it is Thanksgiving, and we just did a whole meditation on gratitude, and I couldn't leave without saying how much I appreciate all of you. I love teaching meditation. I'm amazed at how much this channel has grown, and that is all because of you guys. spreading the word and being really positive and having these wonderful questions and comments. The interaction is fantastic, and none of this would be possible without you. So I am eternally grateful for you, and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family, your friends. If you're just staying home and relaxing, that's cool too. And I'll catch you guys next week. All right? Take care.